My name is Alana.
My name is Crystal.
And we're presenting on the history section for the Know Your Rights camp in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit is a historical city, and because of that, it inspires very intelligent, creative people. And I think that the youth in Detroit are one of a kind. And so I'm inspired to help pass the baton and be the bridge between generational knowledge and also future visions.
I'm inspired by my own community, looking around and seeing what people's needs are and wanting the youth in Detroit not to have to go through some of the same things we're going through now. I think it's important for the youth in Detroit to know this information because as someone who did not grow up in Detroit, but I live here now, I did not know a lot of Detroit's history. I knew very surface level information, but once you find out more about what has happened in your area, it can explain why things are the way they are now and kind of inform how things are moving forward. So if we look back at what our grandparents, our uncles, our aunts did during the rebellion, what their reactions were, we can kind of determine how we can move, how we can transform it and use it for our own protests.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative narratives around Detroit, and I think that Know Your Rights Camp and initiatives like it really bring in people like youth and also community leaders to sit across the table and discuss the situation and learn from each other. And I think that that's where the power is, and I think that's a special thing to be a part of. Yeah, so the General Baker Institute is a brick and mortar nonprofit organization here in Detroit, inspired by the legacy of General Baker Jr., who was a revolutionary activist, a labor historian, and all-around organizer. So we continue the legacy through political education, community development, and arts and culture. We have a lot of fun, and we are especially keen on intergenerational movement. So we have from OGs to YGs, we have everybody in between coming together to figure out how we organize ourselves free.
So I got involved in General Baker Institute about 2021. Somebody told me about the place, and I kind of stumbled in there and I started reading a book called Waited to Exhale, and then I finished the book and then I didn't leave, so now they're stuck with me. For decades, we've been told that, Black people aren't as powerful or Black people aren't as educated or we won't be able to do the same things. I'm personally a first-generation college student, so even coming from that, knowing that whatever power or confidence that my parents, grandparents, great-grandparents have passed down through each other to me is going to propel me and my family and my community into the future.
It's important to know what Black power means because history is both a shield and a weapon. And without that, you are defenseless in a world that is seeking to define you, especially if you're Black, especially if you're brown. And so you need to have that history and knowledge from the past to protect yourself, but also understand enough about it to really figure out who you are in the center of it, and that can be used as a weapon against the status quo.
I love that they were asking questions about the rebellion. They asked a lot of questions about the rebellion, so that just inspires me and lets me know that they really are interested in learning more in depth about Detroit history because they live here. They want to know what happened here, and they hopefully will continue to learn about what's going on in the city.
Yeah, I think people might think it's difficult to talk to high schoolers about settler colonialism and rebellions and revolution, but it's really not. They were excited. We had a few points for rally calls, and they called in response along with us. I mean, this is information that I think a lot of youth have been wanting to hear and wanting to understand and wanting to participate in. So I think that's the importance of it.
My name is Alana.
My name is Crystal.
And we know our rights.